And we are back from the Monster Energy DreamHack Studio broadcast of the Nordic Championship 2019 summer season. Me and Troublelink have had the pleasure of watching at the last minute explosive game between Nordavind and Copenhagen Flames. You were so happy with that final team fight and the preciseness and the intricacies of some of these moments. You were pretty excited here behind the scenes.
I'm only gonna say Kalira MVP in that last whole game. He was literally everywhere. His engages were on point. He managed to kill and stun Ericsson before he could do anything into this last fight. That last fight was literally the decider, and it was done by Kalira. That taunt knock-up that he did on Ericsson decided the entire match. You saw, like, once Ericsson could not push back all these ADs and kill them with his sand soldiers, it fell apart. Nordavind, even though they had previously taken Young down and there was no smite competition, Baron does not give you any teamfight stats. So even though they could secure the Baron, they could not secure the fight, and only Ploxy was left alive. A Ploxy who, I have to say, I wasn't very impressed by, even though every single one of his lanes was ahead, every single one of his lanes were pushing. I didn't necessarily see him shine into this game, so I would like to see, a little bit more hands-on for Ploxy next game.
Then again, we did touch on the relative power between an early game Kindred and an early game Rek'Sai. So his hands are a little bit tied despite the priority of his laners. So do you think he could have really achieved much more in the early game and the mid stages?
I mean, I think he definitely could, especially towards both sides. You're running the Glacial Tamkench, so why not try to get something going? Try to get advantages in your lanes, because yes, he had lane dominance in all three lanes, but he wasn't necessarily translating it into anything. So I feel like had he gotten any more marks for himself, it could have been, a whole different story.
Didn't get enough marks at all. I mean, so we're looking for a little bit more proactiveness then from this Nordavind
100%.
jungler going into game number 2. You praised the drafting from Nordavind here during the
Oh,
commercial
100%.
break. What do you think they should change, or should they change nothing at all going into game number 2?
I don't think they should change absolutely anything, to be honest with you. I feel it was just maybe an underestimation from Ericsson in the last fight, not reacting fast enough, to the engagement of Kalira. There has been changes to Rakan in the last couple of patches where Rakan cannot cast quickness or flash in the first 0.5 seconds of his ultimate being used. So the ultimate was being used by Kalira on top of a pink ward set by Nordavind. So they knew that the engage, it was coming. So I feel like maybe it was miscommunication or misreaction by Ericsson right there, goes down before his ultimate is used or any sort of damage. And we talked about that. Ericsson was the only thing in between the carries of Copenhagen Flames and the rest of the wind. Of course, Kex did the best he could, isolated Young, took him down, no smite there available for the side of Copenhagen Flames, but it just wasn't enough at the end. But I still do praise the whole draft from Nordavind. I found it genius. It completely disabled Young's Rek'Sai from the game, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do now. Well, what they're going to do is get completely, like you said, rid of that Tamkens, because he's just way too powerful.
They did draft themselves into a pretty much ungankable team, an ungankable roster, but I mean, Copenhagen Flames did well in working around that. And as you said, Ericsson was the only thing standing in between Copenhagen Flames and that full fight win there. But on these kind of champions, you have to take into consideration your positioning. You have to position perfectly. Because you can keep people at bay, but only if you're standing in the right place. So perhaps this plays into a sense of uncomfortableness a little bit, right? Because before the first game, we talked about Ericsson as a bruiserish and assassin type of player, and who would match up interestingly into Eden Fox. Now, Eden Fox pulled out the Corki, and Ericsson on that Azir is so far away from what we're used to seeing from him that perhaps, just perhaps, the mindset of an Azir wasn't there to 100%. Now,
Ooh,
pick and ban
Aatrox
phase is underway, as you said. Tam Kench away, Mordekaiser's also taken, Nico's also gone. There's that triple support
Triple
ban
support
once
ban.
again. Yes, the shields are too strong, and the enchanters are not going to be seen anytime soon. It appears there's that Aatrox lock-in.
You
Gorgeous,
can
I
still
love
go
it.
Taric Sona here. Ooh, Sylas gonna get locked in.
Silence though.
That's a triple flex. It could be top, it could be jungle, it could also be in the mid lane as well. So that's pretty genius right here from Nordavind as well. You grab the most flexible champion there is in the league. Now, I have a feeling that the Sona Taric combination would go really well, especially against the Aatrox as well. You stay alive for way long, but Tide fancies himself the Zarya this time and grabs it away from Gabi.
Silas is interesting, especially so today, because remember, we're playing on patch 9.13. 9.14 brought some changes to Silas's wave clear, bringing it up to a 50% reduced damage to minions, his passive that is, from 70% reduced damage, but also gave a hard nerf to the late game ult cooldown. Now, this is patch 9.13. Silas has a much more healthier late game ult hijack, but a much worse early wave clear. Now, what a power lane pick there for
Ooh, I
Copenhagen
was about
Flames.
to say, we talked about this even before the first picks and bans phase. We talked about that Gabi and Kalira love running that Lucian Brom lane. They love playing that aggressiveness. Yes, Thresh is gonna be locked in now. Wait, I need to calm that up.
It's
I need to calm
comfort
myself
across the
down.
board, isn't it?
I need to calm myself down. We have a game in our hands. Gigashock coming in with sub, pulling out the Thresh. Wow.
Thresh is so fun to watch, actually. What a playmaker. When we had the first round of the summer season, there was one Thresh pick, I believe, and it was so heavily denied, though. That ward trick that you can pull on the lantern, and obviously being aware of the hook positionings and the flays and all of that jazz. So there is absolutely ways that you can deny this Thresh giving them the escapes for his ADC or for the junglers or mid laners, whoever's caught out if they find themselves in that position. But that said, Thresh is such a wonderfully versatile pick that you just gotta love seeing it in play, don't you?
Oh, I think Thresh brings that excitement. I feel like any hook champion brings an excitement, you know.
Absolutely, yeah, I
Players
agree,
like
100%.
Pike, Thresh, you've got the Blitzcrank in there. Then unfortunately, he's been played a lot in TFT, but you know, the League of Legends part of the game doesn't like him as much. Brawler's not so fun in League of Legends, but we get the Thresh. So hopefully we'll see some really clutch hooks coming out of Gigashock, and it is something that Nordavind is going to need if they want to pull out that win. Aurelia locked in another flex pick. You have absolutely no clue what is happening in the top side of the map. Is that a mid lane Aurelia, a top lane Aurelia? Where is the Sylas going? We don't even know yet. And I'm pretty sure Copenhagen Flames don't know either.
No, they don't know. I don't think either. Because this Irelia can be flexed up topside, it can be flexed mid. Both players play it. Both Kekt and Ericsson
Most likely
are avid
Keck, I would
Irelia
say.
players. You think so, Kekt and mid lane
Yeah,
Silas?
I think I'm leaning towards that the Aurelia is going to go in the top side and Ericsson is actually going to be playing Sylas. So we're possibly waiting for a jungle counter pick, which would make sense because Ploxy's gameplay last game wasn't the greatest. So I'm expecting to see, you know, a counter pick here so he can be more proactive into the game.
I adore this by
Poppy.
Copenhagen Flames. Yeah, Poppy. They did this versus Celestial Gaming. So what the idea is that you put the Irelia in an uncomfortable lane, no matter where she goes. If she goes up into the Poppy, it's difficult to really do much. The pure base stats of the Poppy can deny him quite hard, and also the Irelia dash being interrupted by the Poppy W. And you sort of allow Ericsson to pick his poison. Who do you want to lose gracefully to? Because Aatrox does seemingly have a pretty decent matchup into Aurelia also. But that Kennen, however, I like it into Poppy. That's a gorgeous response with a ranged carry who can have a lot of later game impact.
Yordle versus Yordle in the top lane, and I'm
You're
gonna
all about
say,
the TFT.
well, who isn't these days? But
It's true.
sticking to this matchup, I love the fact that you're picking P because there are 3 dashes into this game. If the hook lands, Thresh needs to come to you. And I don't really think that you're gonna follow up a hook on a Poppy anyway, but Aurelia dash and Silas dash, you can literally negate by the W shield. Now, on the other hand, you go down the bot side and Lucian is literally the #1 counter to Zaya's feathers. Same works with the hook from Thresh as well, though. And, ooh, bot lane from Nordavind running the Samsung Galaxy, Samsung White bot lane. It's gonna be fancy. You guys are gonna have a look at it in a little bit. It's quite fancy. It looks good. So you've got the Lucian that counters both of your enemy bot laners in the bot lane. You've got an Aatrox Aurelia matchup, which is always so fun to watch because this is such a 50-50 matchup. It completely is up to the 2 players playing it. And as you can see, we're moving straight into the game a little bit. They're both running Ignites Lance me not. So they're like, okay, guys, we're actually going to go at it. You know, we're literally going to be bashing each other's sword. So I cannot wait how Young and Ploxy are going to be impacting this game.
They're showing up on the day and they're ready to fight with these Ignites trouble. Very, very volatile here, and juggle influence is going to matter a lot. So perhaps some flash body slams coming in early, or some chains by Ploxy early on. Now, about Ploxy, running the Silas, there are some interesting ults that you can use. Obviously, the Gragas explosive cask is an amazing tool, both to reposition the enemy carries and also disengage fights and all of that jazz. There's some utility with the Aatrox and the Poppy. Lucian,
Poppy
though,
would be amazing.
isn't the scaling of Lucian ultimate on Silas pretty nuts? I want
Well,
to.
if you think about it though, if you get the Poppy ultimate, the only person who's going to be in your face is gonna be Eden Fox with that Aatrox. So the second he pops his ultimate, you throw him completely out of the fight and you release all this pressure from your ADC so Tide can put down the auto attacks without being scared of being one-shot by Eden. So that's one part, like you said. You can go towards the utility with the cask, with the Poppy ultimate, or you can go with the survivability of Eden Fox's Aatrox ult. You can go for the pure damage and steal the ultimate of Gabi and call people down. So I think that's pretty much, situational on every fight, but I really feel like Poppy ultimate is going to be the ultimate to go for when it comes to, 5v5 pure team fights. Because, let's be honest, Poppy's probably going to be doing the same with Kennen, most likely.
Effectively making it a 4 versus 4. I was going to say, just removing that slicing maelstrom from the team fight altogether. So Poppy in herself having the Poppy ultimate is going to be impactful, to say the least. And also remember, early game fight here, flash forced by Gigashock. Does not want to type any more auto attacks, knowing that the third one after that first auto attack, or the first Q by Braum, will stun him up. And I mean, better earlier and lose less HP than having to flash later on anyway, and already have taken all of that damage.
I think that if he hadn't flashed there, he would most likely be dead. Kalira still hanging on to his Ignite for now, and the stun had not procced from the passive from. So had that been procced, I think that Higashok would most likely be dead from the Ignite as well, because once the Ignite is down, heal does not work as well. The heal is negated, so it's better to be, like you said, better be safe than sorry. Flash away early. They did get that level 2 much faster than the bot lane of Nordavind. And
Watch
Young...
mid lane though. Flash forward by Kalhira, finds the kill. Here's Ploxy on the side, however. Eden Fox, oh, what a slam! Gorgeous, and that's Eden Fox, or sorry, Ericsson dying to first blood. What a flash away, perfectly micromanaged. What a body slam.
Eden Fox getting away with this lever of health, and now Plox on
Oh
the...
no. How is he gonna escape this? He's just straight up isn't. Is he? There's that cask from Young, and that's 2 kills going over to Copenhagen Flames early on. And that's gonna heavily impact Ploxy's jungle clear and momentum.
Oh, that's definitely it, because he has just lost his blue buff. Gragas is running around with 2 old lead right now, and he can literally go to any lane he wants. There's no summoners in the mid lane, no summoners in the jungle for Ploxy, and no summoners down for Gigashock. He literally has the luxury to go anywhere he wants, because that flash body slam is still there. It's still available. Once he goes back and he has his Predator, he can visit any lane he wants. Beautiful hook!
There, but the Brom Shield tells Tide to back away. You cannot touch my ADC any longer. He disengages underneath the tower. So, I mean, they're trying stuff with the Thresh. It's already working out. Hey, you know, Kalhira attempted to land some early pressure onto Gigashock, but Gigashock answers with some pressure of his own. And top lane's looking quite volatile. Wow, Kate's running away with this one.
Ploxy might be looking for a dive here.
Yeah, Kate, who is actually finds the stun. And there is also Ploxy waiting in the wings. Nihu is aware of this, however, but look at the HP. Man, they have to disengage. What? The fact that Kate took that extra tower shot, man, that just said everything, didn't it?
I feel like had he waited a little bit, Ploxy there, because Ploxy could have been able to land the chains. You know, just wait for your jungler to be there, and don't try, you know, to make the heroic play of diving 1v1 and making it alive. Nevertheless, double summoners down for Nishuiz, so this could definitely be a repeat gank for Ploxy, now that not only Flash is down, but Teleport as well, which means that once you get that repeat gank, and kill on Nishuiz, you can deny so much gold and experience by pushing that wave all the way down his tower, and he's not going to be there in time with a Teleport to pick it up.
These auto attacks are hurting. 100%. Nishu is feeling the pain. But honestly, with that Negatron Cloak and the Ruby Crystal, he should surely be able to survive an extra little bit of pressure from Ploxy now. With being level 5, hang on, actually, Slicing Maelstrom is available here. No, but with that extra HP and the extra magic just coming in now, it's gonna, I feel like the next potential 2 versus 1 up top is gonna be slightly more Nishu's favored. This time around, especially if they try to tower dive again. But yeah, Flash is down. It's going to be difficult, for sure.
Also, I really want to touch on, since we're like onto the top lane matchup, how hard it is for Poppy to deal with AP top laners, because her main build consists of going from Sunfire Cape into a Gauntlet, you know, some magic resist shoes, so you can get away from stance and CC and so on and so on. When you have that cannon with so much AP, oh, hold on to that!
3 versus 3 down. Oh, Young just smacks straight into Gigashock, and Gigashock is Gigashocked as Young claims that pickup. And a quick 3rd kill of the game for Copenhagen Flames. Man, they're running away with it in game number 2 here. Wow.
And we talked about that. We said that once the Predator boots are in action, he has the flash body slam, he can use that. Gigashock takes a hook that he doesn't want to, but now mid lane action.
Yeah, CC Chain comes in onto Young. Young tries to engage the fight onto Ericsson, but they're forced to disengage, and there's action happening all across the board. There's the Slicing Maelstrom top lane, but Nishu plays it gorgeously.
Mid again!
Oh, the snipe there, Kalhira finds you onto Floxy there, and he's He backs away nicely, but I mean, all of this action, no one goes down. Kex is
Wait.
playing with fire up in the top side. He's so hungry. Just watch him, right? But he knows he cannot take any more of these tower shots, and Young is right around the corner, albeit
Wait
on
a
very low
second.
HP.
There was a 2v2 that turned into a 3v3 in the mid lane. There was a 1v1 with the ADC in the bot lane and a 1v1 at the same time.
It's happening
In
everywhere.
the top lane, exactly. Between the top laners, it was crazy action. Nobody dies.
Nobody
in the 1v1s. Only in the mid lane. No, sorry, nobody in the mid lane as well. It was the kill from previously picked up by Young in the bot lane, where Gigashok takes the hook of death, as we like to call it, because Thresh is really not the tankiest support, let's say, especially in the start. So when you take these hooks, you need to be 100% sure that it is the correct hook. Gigashok gets in there, never comes out alive, and we talked about the ability of Young being able to flash body slam. He didn't even need it in that encounter, although with every member from the bot side backed off from Copenhagen Flames, it is Ploxy that grabs himself a free Mountain Drake.
And that Mountain Drake is surely going to play a large part in the mid-game success of these teams as the plates drop and the turrets start to fall. You've got that Xayah and the Kennen siege up topside. I mean, you already see in these Huiz be so pushed in over and over again. 30 CS down, forced to be on the tower. Always Kex will apply a lot of damage onto this top turret, and as will that Xayah. Oh, gorgeous hook actually, but I don't think they want to take the hook of death again. Especially that he's alone indeed. So I mean, this Mountain Dragon, very valuable.
Very valuable, and I just want to put my finger on the fact that it's so valuable because Kex yet again has so much pressure in the top lane, and he can take all these turret plates for himself, feed himself even more all alone, and pull all this pressure. Because look at that now, Young has to play toward bot side. He has to make sure they cannot secure the Rift Rail because they have all this priority and all this set up into the top lane. They have the wards, they have the winning Kenny. He's gonna go back, complete his Gunblade right here. And this is something I want to touch on. You really don't go Gunblade on your cannon if you're not 100% sure you're gonna smash your lane. Right now, Kex is smashing yet another one of his laning phases. So he is free to go for that Gunblade. He is free to try and 1v1 that Poppy. And even if Gragas is down there, he will pop the Slice Maelstrom. He has the Stompwoods available. He can 2v1 them at this point.
And with the other lane struggling, he has to cash in and double down on this advantage as hard as possible and press it as far as he is able, because there's just fire burning all around him. So he has to hang on. Meanwhile, Rift Herald. Oh, look at the CC chain. There's no way he escapes that. Ploxy dies off, and that's the Rift Herald taken and picked up by Gooby, and it's looking like they want to use it up top. Man,
Yeah,
so the cannon has to run away with this one, huh?
He has. I mean, let's be honest here. Kex was the one that was creating all of this pressure. This time, they tell you know what, Nisriz, you're gonna be our sacrificial lamb. You're gonna be on a tank. You're gonna be saving us later into the team fights when everybody's dashing towards our carries, and we're just gonna do the work for you. We're gonna carry you to victory. You're just gonna be there to simply be our mid shield and protector. Yes? Yes. So even though Kex has so much pressure on the side lane, he hasn't yet gotten into any of the big fights, and even if he does, there is the cask there to reset the cannon up. So once the cannon has even flashed in, once Young casts him out of the fight, there is no way that Cannon can reach the backline again without dying. So again, Copenhagen Flames have done a really great job at thinking the game that Nordavind is going to play again. They're going to play again towards Kex. So they said, all right, we're going to leave this out of it. We're not going to think of Kex. We're just going to think how he's going to impact the team fights instead of the side lane. And they have drafted a whole team around how they want to fight and not a team around Kex.
This is further amplified your point. by the fact that he is running for that gunblade. He's looking for the side lane impact instead of the teamfight repositioning. As you said, he cannot get in there without sacrificing either his HP or his flash, or perhaps some sort of help assistance with his thresh. But that's a big long shot here. So the fact that he's not running Proto Belt might end up hurting Nordavind quite a bit, since they are relying a fair amount on this cannon, who's really only going even with the other carries on the side of Copenhagen Flames. And this turret is almost down also. Wow. The amount of plates?
I was about to say, he has claimed himself so many.
That's the body slam. Slicing Maelstrom comes in, but Gooby, it's so clean. That's just textbook, isn't it? But Nordavind are grouping mid lane, forces the TP.
I see now why Nordavind was trying to literally choke Young on the Rek'Sai in the previous game. He is doing such an incredible job in this game. 3-0-2. That's 100% kill participation for the jungler of the Danish team. He is doing so incredibly well, carrying his team to victory. Only 600 gold ahead, but we're only gonna be seeing
a beautiful hook. I mean, that's. Oh. I don't think they'll be able to force this fight. There's the Lantern and there's the Xayah disengaged, so yeah.
They were trying to pick up a fight 4v5, I mean 3v5, because if you look at the bot side, Young is too busy with Gubby taking the mountain drain. So, the flash!
Oh, wow. Explosive cast comes in from Ploxy. The rally ult, but isn't there.
They're trying so
they don't find it. Yeah, this is a frustration and desperation play there. You've just watched 5 kills go over to Copenhagen Flames. You've just watched the dragon pretty much right in front of your faces, and you've been losing turret plates like there's no tomorrow. You're getting frustrated.
Oh, I think this was exactly what this chase was. It was a flash from Ploxy trying to chain Young, and then there was a flash from Ericsson trying to somebody to charge to, and none of them connected to anyone. I want to say though, I was about to say about Fox that we haven't seen anything done from him, and he literally just dispatches of Ploxy underneath his own tower. Yeah, this is exactly the reason that this Aatrox was banned in the previous game against Eden Fox.
He is so comfortable on this champion. He looked so great on this Aatrox mid-pick against Celestial Gaming. Meanwhile, Kegt finds the engage onto Kalira, but Kalira only has to flash away from 3 people. Wow, so many resources invested. That's Poppy ultimate up top lane. But still, Ericsson is not interested, it seems.
Yeah, well, Nishkuris is still a very weak member. I mean, he literally had to go to 4 different components of an item to try and stay alive for anyone that potentially could be on his side lane. So he gets the armor for potentially Aurelia being against him, and then he has the MR for potentially the cannon being against him. So he's literally been thrown around, like we said, like the bait of the team, the sacrificial lamb. He's been thrown around lanes, and he's like, all right, guys, I guess I'll just optimize for everything then.
But here's the beauty, though, that both Cannon and the Irelia will do mixed damage, so it's not as bad as it could be. Cannon has some AD with obviously the auto attacks coming in as you want to proc that stun, and Irelia does magic damage on hit, so it could be worse. But I mean, you're playing for scraps here. You're trying to build something out of absolutely a void, really. You're low econ Poppy on the way.
It will be so funny because if this game ends up being away, be like, so how win? I don't know. Team was playing, I was just on the side lane, just building stuff to try and stay alive, and he's done great. Right, he might be 50 CS behind, but he's not died a single time. So he's doing a great job, at least at staying alive and keeping the pressure from Kex at bay. So him not dying to Kex, and then Kex being able to TP back into the fight and cause more problems for Copenhagen Flames is enough, I think, for the team.
Architect will be playing a huge part in the coming minutes, especially as we start prepping for the next Mountain Dragon, which will be the second one for either of those teams, and it will snowball the sieging potential of Copenhagen Flames. But watch Young and his positioning here does not find the body slam onto Giga Shock, and we take a second to breathe once again as Ploxy hijacks the explosive. No, actually, hijacks the Glacial Fissure there, which is also an amazing ultimate. It has a pretty decent AP scaling from what I understand.
It does, and also provide you with a lot of CC. You give a lot of room to the Irelia and the cannon to get into the fight. So I think they are sort of preparing, like you said, for the next Mount Break. Potentially could be fighting against that. First item is completed for Josiah, so it's not really there yet. There's so much more pressure from Gubby's illusion. With that Essence River being completed, you've got the stopwatch over there. I just feel like mid-game wise, there's such a much stronger structure from the side of Copenhagen Flames to be able to fight for that dragon coming up, rather than on the other side, Nordavind, because yes, you've got the Gunblade, Morelos has been completed for you, Kennen, but how is he really gonna get in? Like, unless you flash in, fine, but the cask is still gonna be there. It's still going to be available. So I'm really excited to see how both teams are gonna play around this Mount Drake, because I feel like it's gonna be crucial, because Baron is spawning straight after that, and they both have the strength to follow up if they get a couple of kills.
I mean, this is how you could do it, I guess. Just catch out the Thresh as he's fishing for hooks. And he's the one who gets caught out as he's looking for a pick. And that puts us at a 5 versus 4, 7th kill of the game for Copenhagen Flames. And yeah, it's 7 kills, right? But it's not as if they're super far ahead in gold. They're 1.2k up only. So we have to sort of take into consideration that these teams are fairly even. But that is Nish who is getting caught. The Mountain Dragon falls. But watch Eden Fox. He's just flipping and backflipping on everyone. CC comes in from Ploxy, but he flashes away and disengages.
Wait a second.
So messy.
That's a one-on-one. Okay.
Oh, meanwhile.
That's a one-on-one reckless move right there. You're gonna arcane shift forward and then backwards. This was, I feel like, what Ploxy did right there. Oh, the teleport flank.
Teleport flank is there. Nishuis is 1 versus 1 versus Ericsson, and he buys enough time for Gooby to show up and shoot him straight in the face. It could be. They're in a 5 versus 3. Ploxy's smite is available. Hijack is coming in. Mountain Dragons are gonna play a part, but it's also gonna play a part in a potential steal attempt. Watch Ploxy. The plant is available. No one's clearing it. There's a flash forward by Kalhira, trying to buy time. Meanwhile, Gooby on the sideline takes out Tide.
Oh, he's in!
Ploxy makes it into the Baron Pit. Can he smite? He can't make it, but 25 HP is what the Baron is mained at after Nordavind jungler goes down, and that's Baron and 11 kills in favor of Copenhagen Flames. They're looking towards the mid lane.
And a 4,500 leads right here for for Copenhagen Flames. It's looking really good for a 2-0 clean sweep from them. And we were praising, well, I was praising the first draft from Nordavind, and this one does not look as bad. I feel like it's the execution that's lacking. And look at all those gold bounties on the crucial members of Copenhagen Flames. 400 gold on Young, 150 on Eden Fox, and 600 gold bounty on Gooby. I mean, Nishwiz is just chilling at this point. He's like, yes, guys, I have my first item of the game. I'm proud of it.
They're ahead by a lot, and I want to touch on something that we discussed way back, which was Copenhagen Flames. They came out of the Danish Esports League after a 0-3 versus Ventus, which some would argue when you go 0-3 against the finals team, you're considered, well, you don't really stand a chance. Perhaps you're not that good of a team. Perhaps the region's weak. But with Ventus being that strong, we talked a little bit about Copenhagen Flames' potential relative strength to the other teams. It shouldn't be underestimated, and Copenhagen Flames are showing why on the day, on the first day, and they are ready to go 2-0. This time versus the top seed from Norway, which is an absolute statement. That tells a lot about the strength of the region.
And we talked about this. We said, okay, they lost. Oh!
Meanwhile, slicing Maelstrom. That's a quick 1-2 assassination, but can he deal with Aiden Fox? I don't think so, because the rest of the team is coming also. The turret is at very low HP, flashes away. Can he get out? I think so. Wow, he makes the clutch escape. The assassination is there. Finally.
And the first kill! Chance me not.
Yeah, the first kill. First kill for Nordavind, and it's on that focus member Kex that we've been paying so much attention to. But I mean, the Baron push is still here down on the bot side. How are Nordavind going to defend against this?
There is not much wave clear
Not
there, really. And against these Baroned up minions, only Zaya needs to go really close to the wave. And with the Gragas not there, he's able to do it. But look at all that pain on
Oh, the flash forward. Giga Shock finds the pick. That's a shutdown going over for Kex. Stopwatch has flashed. Stopwatch has plenty. Double kill. And Nordavind are turning it on at the 24th minute. They looked at the time and said, hey guys, it's just about time to start getting back into the game. And this is a crucial first step.
Wait a second, all the kills are on Kex again. He is the man to carry this team, it seems. And these were two great picks from the side of Nordavind if they want to start turning this around. And it's by no means gone, because that's only a 2,000 difference between these two teams. There's not much.
Yeah, the goal lead, and also taking into consideration that the Baron goal lead that they got for themselves after being ahead only maybe 800 gold the entire team, it's all disappeared just off of this. All the shutdowns going over, the goalie just isn't there anymore, apart from that 2k difference.
Oh, Kex fancies himself one more kill, but he doesn't want to go into focus. Run!
He comes in, but he's so strong. Just watch him, right? Another shutdown. He's taking them down one by one. He's literally claimed the shutdowns of all of the Coupling in Flames members. And this puts them in 5 versus 4 with a smite advantage on that Infernal Dragon. This is exactly what you want.
I would love to see the goal difference right now that Kex has with the knee squeeze, because I think it's going to be so massive. Oh, they want to fight!
Big pick onto Giga Shock. There's the Poppy ultimate coming in, the Keeper's Verdict. But Nijus finally finds Giga Shock and kills him off. Meanwhile, the Infernal Dragon picked up by Loxy. Wow! And there's that Featherstorm coming in by Tide. So much going on. Eden Fox is in the middle of everyone. Ericsson is solo, but a stopwatch. Poogies goes down finally, and this is cleanup crew by Nordavind. Yes, Young respawns, but this is pretty much a delayed ace at the 25th minute, and they can run down a mid lane.
Wait, Kex, you absolute beast, translating all that side lane pressure into team fight material for the team. They managed to find us using the delayed ace, because Young had just respawned for like 1 or 2 seconds probably, and now he's CP'd back into it to keep that minion alive for a tier 2 mid lane tower. Guess what? 50 seconds until the next Baron, and you're gonna have to be very, very careful if you are Copenhagen Flames right now, because that flank from the cannon could come, and you need to be so aware of where these words are lying behind you, because if he gets that flank, oh boy, Deathcap, Gunblade, Morelos, and another Needless Lad's Rod in there, oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, the Spellbinder most likely coming in as the 4th item, going full damage and respectively so. Like, he identifies that he's their way back into the game. Slicing Maelstrom, that's an assassin. That's assassin cannon. Sitting there in the bush, and Young's dead again. Like, what do you even do?
Kex, that is disgusting. He moves from one illegal thing to another.
Take off the list, Trouble.
Somebody ban this guy. He should not be allowed to play. All jokes aside though, Kex has been lifting a lot of weight for his team, and that is such a great performance. Even in the losing game, he had such a great performance with Mordekaiser, and here again, he can play more than one champions and play them so well. Stellar performance so far by Kex, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I cannot wait to see more of him in this tournament.
And I believe he's also the one player that's new for the team. I'm pretty sure, Ploxy Ericsson tied, and well, Gigashock down there in the bot side. So yeah, they've stuck as a unit, and the top lane for Nordavind is historically the role that's been swapped out, and the fact that he's coming in as an addition to this already existing team and doing this, working this hard to try to drag them into a win, you have to give him props for that.
Oh, 100%. And I think this is going to be from now on a Baron dance. Baron has been up. There is absolutely no vision for Copenhagen Flames. So this could potentially be a bait event. We're going to have to wait and see. I feel like Poppy at this point is going to melt so fast, but you need to try and make sure you keep your members of your team alive. Look at that. Kex already has his perfect positioning. He's sitting on the blast going. He's like, all right, guys, try to pretend you're doing dragon, and when they come close enough, I'm just going to jump over and kill everyone. He has his flash available as well. So this is a very, very scary cannon that Copenhagen Flames have to go against, and they have to be extremely careful if they want to come out of this alive.
Copenhagen Flames surely should smell this from quite a distance, though, and will hopefully take extra care in scouting. But that's the Baron started now. Watch Kex, he's still there. He's activated Predator. Here he goes. Is he gonna find the pick? There's the Keeper's Verdict coming in and knocks away Tide, and it effectively makes it into a 5 vs 4 for him. There is the Slicing Maelstrom. Assassination attempt onto Goody. He's stopwatch, and there it is. Two quick kills over onto Nordavind, and they translate immediately into that Baron. They don't even need Tide. Who cares about the Xayah when your top lane cannon is this strong and you have this much utility to lock down Copenhagen Flames for long enough to win the fight handedly?
Oh, baby. That's me not. I don't know if you're smelling it, but I'm smelling a Game 3 incoming. Kex is going out of his way to try and get his team a second chance, a third game, one more shot at getting this best of 3. And boy, is he doing this so stylish so far. Oh no, Eden has been...
Eden, I don't think you win this one, buddy. There's that Aatrox ultimate comment in the World Ender popped. Gives them movement speed to help them disengage from that threat of the cannon. But as you said, they straight up don't care, and Nordavind will instead regroup topside, or mid lane, I'm sorry, and Kex running topside. He's still chasing down Eden Fox. I mean, Kalhira is here. This could be a pick. Remember, Kex does not have any defensive items left. 1,000 gold shutdown. Go over to Young. He's still worth... Nah, he's not worth. That was Ploxy's shutdown. But Young, picking that one up, crucial. And that's the Dragon, readily available. Perhaps they will try to trade for some mid lane pressure. It seems like it. Copenhagen Flames are running straight down.
Yeah, we need to put some pressure down now that Kex is down and not available for the team, because he is literally the one that's standing in between you and victory. So once he goes down, this is all your go button to go. They don't really have a way, they have to wait, and there's only 20 seconds for Kex to come back up, and I feel like his teleport will be close to be available after he's up as well. So that's some scary stuff, because there's a lot of words that Kex can TP to after he's alive.
Where is the Zhonya's? You have to ask yourself, is the decision to go Spellbinder fourth instead of a stopwatch at least, or Zhonya's transitioning after that? He's paying for it right now. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of damage, but as soon as you call it out, I mean, there's the confidence on this guy perhaps turning into overconfidence by not adapting his build to the fact that, well, if he dies, it's gonna look grim for the rest of Nordavind.
Well, I do like me myself, an overconfident player, but I will agree with you. Maybe Zhonya's will make it even harder for Copenhagen Flames to kill him, because once he flashes in, there's no way of getting knocked out with the cask. So popping that Zhonya's at the perfect timing, the cask is the only thing that can knock you out, unless Poppy's already charging her ultimate, in which case you can kind of time it to not ult until the Poppy ultimate is done, you know? So it needs some charging to get you out. So the only thing that Copenhagen Flames have to rely on is the cask from Young. Having this hourglass perfectly timed with the cask stop you from getting away from the fight while still putting down the pain. So I will agree with you, probably Azonius would have been a more optimal choice, but he wants the damage here, and who am I to deny him the damage opportunity, because he's already assassinating people without his 4th item. So 4 items completed, I would love to see the damage done.
He's already laying down the first. I mean, if someone gets caught in the slicing maelstrom, they are dead. But as you said, there's the explosive cast coming in. The flash, body slam, the Bushman flash is there. Young gets rooted up, and there's a massive fight this time. Ericsson is way, way deep, and it's looking fantastic for Nordavind as they pick up 4 consecutive kills and force even Fox's Aatrox to be on defensive, and they're looking to equalize the series here and now.
Wow, that proved that Nordavind does not really need Kex to secure the game.
They absolutely don't.
We are going to game number 3. Kex kept them once again alive long enough for the rest of the members to scale up to the point where once Nishuis was taking Kex out of the fight and was keeping him there, they did not really need him anymore because the rest 4 members were much stronger than the 4 remaining members of Copenhagen Flames. And we are going to game number 3, which is crazy because we thought it wasn't going to happen.
There was something like an 11 kill lead for Copenhagen Flames here, and they were looking in prime
11-0.
position. Yeah, 11-0. They were looking in prime position to take home the 2-0 sweep, but Nordavind, they kept the CS leads up. Remember, they were up in CS pretty much throughout the entire game. In every lane, only Young on the jungle keeping that advantage for Copenhagen Flames. So despite the kill deficit, they were only really down a 1 turret also for a large part of the game. Also, Kex were taking turret plates. So that interplayed with the CS leads, it made them always have a chance. And Kex found that opportunity, it snowballed out of control on this cannon and carried the team on his back, really.
So here comes the question, right? If you are Copenhagen Flames, do you go again with Nishuis on something, on a fighter, something that does damage to try and go against Kex? Or do you try again and assemble a team that works against the entirety of the Nordavind team? So do you specifically go against one player and try to win from that lane? Because you can see that Nordavind doesn't really need Kex to win. They were doing fine, the rest of the team. So here comes the head scratcher for Copenhagen Flames, what they're going to do in their next game.
They're going to have to adapt quite well, for sure. I mean, they were looking so strong, right, for a large part of the game. So in reality, perhaps it just comes down to execution trouble. But that is indeed the case. Copenhagen Flames did not manage to close this one out. Nordavind instead take the second game home to equalize the series to 1-1. The final game of the evening is coming right your way after a short commercial break. If you've sticked around for this long, surely you watched the last game also. I'll see you in a bit, lads.